I'm Michael Murata, and today I want to share with you one of my favorite summer treats, roasting sweet red bell peppers, the easiest way to do it. Now, some people will hold these over an open flame on the stove. Some people will put them on the broiler and watch them that way for about 10 or 15 minutes. Some people will roast them whole. I like to do it really slow. Cut them in half and gut them first. That way you don't have to deal with all of the pith and the seeds afterwards. I think it's the best flavor, unadorned, no olive oil necessary, no salt and pepper. That all can come later. These sweet treats are delicious on a sandwich. They're delicious in a salad. If you're making an antipasto, there's nothing else that completes the dish. So let's get started. Give your peppers a quick rinse and dry them because you don't want any moisture on them when you put them in the oven. I'm going to start by cutting my peppers right in half. And what you want to do is just get rid of all of the pith and the seeds. You don't have to go crazy. Give them a tap and they're done. Cut out the crown. Scrape. Tap. Done. I'm going to lay these out on a lined baking sheet. It'll just make the cleanup a lot easier later on. Put them face down so that the skins can blacken in the oven and they'll be easier to peel. I'm going to slide these into a preheated oven. This has been heating at 500 degrees, and in about a half an hour we'll check them. 30 minutes, and those peppers are charred, nice and black on top. That's just the way you want them. We're going to want those peppers to sweat and cool. The sweating helps the steam loosen the skin, and the cooling will make it easier to manage. The best technique for cooling and sweating your peppers after they're roasted is a paper bag. These peppers are going to be hot, so make sure you have some tongs. Throw them in your bag, seal it up. I'm going to let those sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you don't have a paper bag, I have an alternative method. You can sit them in a bowl and just cover it nice and snug with some plastic wrap. We'll check these both in about 15 to 20 minutes. Now you see why we use parchment paper. Get rid of it, and your cleanup is done. After 20 minutes, you can see that this skin is going to come right off. You see it separates pretty easily, just like that. This is a little bit of a messy part. So if you're filming yourself while you're doing it, make sure you have some paper towels on hand. You can see how beautiful and black those are and how tender. See how easily that piece of charred skin peels right off of your pepper. So simple. And that little char that remains on the pepper gives you that nice smoky quality that you're looking for. As you can see, our second method is equally as impressive. Separate that skin and it will peel right off your roasted pepper. If you want to take the time, you can slice these into manageable strips so they're easy to eat. Don't those look delicious? And they're so sweet. You really don't need to have anything on them. However, we're going to try two ways to preserve them. I save jars of every size and variety. I find it's the best way to recycle and keep things fresh. I'm going to preserve half of these peppers in one jar, and you will see after a couple of days in the fridge they will sort of make their own little syrup. It's so sweet. A couple of cloves of garlic, and I'm going to slice them real thin. As always, using the bone on top of your knuckle to keep your fingertips away from that knife. I'm going to stack a couple of fresh basil leaves. I'm going to roll them up and give this a very thin slice, a chiffonade if you will. Let's toss that into a bowl with some olive oil. Not too much. Little sea salt, and always some fresh ground pepper. I'll give that a little stir. The other half I'm going to toss with the mixture that we just created, with the basil and garlic, and we will store these in our second jar. These will keep in the fridge for easily a week or two. Plain roasted peppers and roasted peppers tossed with garlic, basil, and olive oil. Now, can you buy roasted peppers in a jar? Sure. But do you want to pay all that extra money and have the preservatives and have them taste like something that came out of a factory? No, you want them homemade because there's nothing like it. In less than an hour, I've got roasted peppers in the fridge for several weeks. Couldn't be simpler. Give roasted peppers a try. And thanks for watching. And if you have any comments or things you'd like to know or tips that I can share, put them down there in the comments. I'd appreciate it. Bye.